Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here, Golden Opportunities Coaching. Welcome to those of you who are new. Welcome back to those of you who are seasoned veterans of what we do around here. What we do around here is discuss a variety of topics in the social, psychological, and coaching-related field. We have over 230 videos or audios for you to check out. Please subscribe, like, comment below if there's something that's helpful to you, and also tell your friends and everybody on social media. And if there's a topic you'd like to see covered, we can certainly do that. We usually within a couple of days. But today we're going to talk about emotional burnout. So, signs of emotional burnout. There's about 4 or 5 things I want to go through here really quickly. But first, we got to define emotional burnout. Emotional burnout is when you're dealing with negative emotions in a continuous loop without resolution. So this happens when a person is just dealing with the same things over and over again. Maybe it's a traumatic event, and you're replaying it, you're ruminating over it. Perhaps it's something mentally overwhelming and you can't find personal resolution for it. Perhaps you're dealing with financial hardship, the end of a relationship, or other obligations. But whatever the reason, you're literally changing your brain chemistry by being so burnt out with it that you almost go numb. So there's a few ways to know that this is going on. If you lose yourself and you don't know why you're doing what you do anymore. So losing yourself looks as simple as you're doing things on a continual basis for everyone else. Your friends, your family, your kids, your spouse, your boss, and there's never time for you, and you don't even know what you enjoy anymore. You don't even know what would make you happy anymore. You don't really know how you're going to find energy to do this or that anymore. If that's occurring for you for more than a week or two, you're very close to the emotional burnout level. Next is trauma. So trauma affects the brain in different ways. The emotional receptors act differently. The part of the brain that deals with memory and suppression acts differently. And if you've been through a traumatic experience, be it mental, emotional, psychological, or physical, your brain's acting differently. And you always stay, after trauma, for several hours to several days, depending on the situation, in a fight or flight mentality, which means your body's going to burn out by proxy. And this goes hand in hand with the next thing, which is abuse. So many traumatic experiences tie in with psychological, mental, social, physical, or verbal abuse. And so if you are an abuse survivor and you're coming out of that situation, as much as everyone thinks that is the best time of your life, it's also a time when burnout from dealing with all the emotions you've been suppressing for months or years, you're very susceptible to that for the first several weeks to months, depending on how long you've been in the relationship, depending on if you have a stalker situation, depending on what kind of support system you have. But coming out of an abusive situation or dealing with one continually is a fantastic way, in all the wrong ways, to end up at a burnout level. The next is if you're dealing with loss. So that loss could be the loss of everything from a pet or a loved one, family member, friend, best friend, partner, whomever, to the loss of a job, the loss of a home due to financial hardships, the loss of your identity, meaning you were chasing a dream and it didn't work out. When you go through loss, you're going to burn out for a couple of reasons. Number one, the reflection of all the things you did to try and achieve a certain goal, whatever that was, whether it was protecting the family member from hardship, saving a relationship, or pursuing a dream. Number two, when you deal with all the negative emotions associated with doing these things, you're going to wonder what you didn't do, and when you can't find that solution, you're more likely to burn out. The last is self-medication used by addiction. So that can be everything from pornography to alcohol, drugs, sexuality, new relationships, overspending, over-shopping, but any addictive behavior that is a form of self-medication, which is the idea of making oneself feel better through behavior that could be considered negative or self-destructive, will lead to burnout. Because when that thing that's been giving you the high, drug, alcohol, companionship, whatever, no longer gives you the high, then you still have to deal with the negative emotions that are left over afterwards. So that can be super, super challenging. So hopefully this audio has been helpful to you and you can gain something from it. It's also my hope that if I can be of help to you, you will reach out. You can do that in a number of ways, but basically the idea is work with somebody to find that balance, and hopefully you do that. Keep your feet on the ground, your mind in the moment. Till next time, everybody.